Hello, folks. How are you all today? So I'm just getting ready, just finished reading your post and your discussion for week 2, where we talk about curriculum and scope and sequence of curriculum. And you guys shared some really good stuff. A couple things that really stuck out to me were obviously going through the different areas of curriculum and then talking about the importance of relying on your albums, which is incredibly important. But one of the things I wanted to bring to your attention as you sort of start not start your careers, but certainly as you start this course, is thinking about how you check for mastery. That's one of the biggest issues I see in Montessori schools, and one of the biggest things that we're being called to task for. So, we'll take these online platforms such as Montessori Compass or something like that are wonderful platforms for sharing with teachers and parents what you're doing. But what we as teachers often do is we just write that we've given the lesson, and then we get stuck in this idea that, okay, we have to give the lesson. So I challenge you all to think about the questions: how are we realistically checking for mastery with each of our kids? And then how are we using what we discover as part of our checking for mastery to drive instruction? So more generally, if I'm talking about the question, the original prompt is, how do you use scope and sequence? And I guess what I'm saying is the scope and sequence is a really important thing, but it doesn't matter unless you're checking for mastery and learning how children, and checking to make sure that kids are learning. And then you use that information to make further decisions about their academics. So, an example I always get, or something I always say, is you can be a great Montessori in the sense of knowing how to give lessons, or you may know all the direct aims and all that sort of thing. But if you don't know how to use it and how to evaluate children and then make decisions essentially on the fly at an individualized lesson, are you really a good practitioner, and ought that to be the challenge? So that's a little bit of something for you to think about today. We are finishing up week 2. I really enjoyed reading your posts. Next week we talk about a little bit about checking for mastery. But one of the things I wanted to challenge you all to do is, if you're willing to share what you believe are your biggest challenges in either an email post, or we can start a new thread. I'm still getting the hang of the Sarasota University, but I want to try to sort of bring up some questions in addition to the work that we have to do as part of this course already in the shell, but bring up questions that you guys are facing in your daily lives. So if you don't feel comfortable sharing it in a video post or an email form, please email me, and I'd like to start discussions about those things. So I hope you all had a wonderful 4th. I'm actually back in Washington, D.C. I gave a talk in Loyola last week, and then I went home for a couple of days, and now I'm back here because then tomorrow I'm going to be going to a training center where I'll be teaching lower elementary geography and history for the next week. And then I'm actually heading off to Erbil, Iraq to evaluate a school that is a Montessori school, but actually a school that's trying to get accredited. And so looking at that, so there's a lot of interesting things in Montessori. And if you ladies, if you all are interested in hearing about those things as in addition to what we're talking about in course, I'd love to talk to you about it. But again, just trying to share some personal recordings because I feel like it's a missed piece on these online platforms. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to hearing from you all.